Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Intro to Canva, another webinar brought to you by your Digital Service Squad, your Simcoe South Georgian Bay Digital Service Squad. Today on the call, we've got our DSS joining us, Rochelle Reynolds, who's going to be taking us through the presentation. Karen Gibson from our team, who's also a graphic designer. So I thought it would be great to have her on the call to provide some insights as well, specifically about graphic design. We're going to be talking a lot about just kind of basic principles, but also the how-tos of how to use Canva, how to create better graphic design on a budget. And Sam Evans is joining us as well from our Digital Service Squad team. Just a little bit of housekeeping as we get started. The Digital Service Squad is part of the Digital Main Street program, which is brought to you by the FedDev Ontario, the Ontario government, the Ontario BIA Association, as well as the Toronto Association of BIAs. Here specifically in South Georgian Bay, this program is managed by the South Georgian Bay Small Business Enterprise Center with additional funding from the County of Simcoe, the Town of Collingwood, and the Town of Blue Mountains. And we're extremely grateful for all their support, the support of the government. And if you haven't booked a consultation with your Digital Service Squad, I highly recommend it. We've got a ton of services that we can provide for free, and we're eager to help you improve your digital marketing, your digital footprint. We're going to put a, oh, someone's having trouble hearing me. Oh, I might turn it up a bit. Let's see. I got a little knobby there. So, basically, yeah, we're excited to be here. And if you haven't booked that consultation, go ahead and book a consultation with us, because we're only going to be around till the end of February, I think, at this point. That might get pushed out depending on how things go, but probably not for much longer. So we will put a link to our booking calendar in the chat for you to book that consultation. I will add too that we can take questions as we go, and you can be sure you can drop those in the chat box or in the Q&A. Easier in the Q&A if you put them there, but we will answer them as we go. So without further ado, here is Rochelle Reynolds to take us through our intro to Canva.
Oh, thank you. Ben, did you want to enable my video? I can't do it myself. It doesn't matter to me. It's up to you.
I didn't realize that I didn't allow that function.
That's all right.
I don't know if I can do that here.
That's okay. We can improv. I'll speak and you can move your mouth and try and match what I'm saying.
Yes. I've made you a co-host, so hopefully you can turn on your
oh, that should work. Yay.
There you go.
Alrighty, perfect. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. As Ben said, I am part of the Digital Service Squad, which is part of the larger governing body that is Digital Main Street. Digital Main Street is an Ontario-wide program dedicated to helping small businesses improve their online presence. We have a variety of things that we can help you with. We can do digital audits of your entire digital footprint. They're absolutely free. We are available for one-on-one consultations that are also absolutely free. So please do come to us. We're all very friendly and we're all very eager to meet you and help you. I'll also add that it does look like there is a shutdown that is imminent, and that is going to throw a lot of businesses for a curveball, right? We've all really done a great job of adapting to certain situations, but now things are going to change again with whatever changes are going to be implemented. So we are here. We are here to help you through this challenging time. Okay, so let's talk about Canva. Canva, I hope that some of you are already familiar with it, and if you aren't, then welcome to the wonderful world of Canva. It really is great. Canva is an online tool and is devoted to helping people with their graphic design. So prior to something like Canva, any kind of sort of in-house graphic design would really need to be achieved through something like, Photoshop, and even oh goodness, now my everything is totally going blank in my mind, but mostly Photoshop. That's kind of the big one. And these are programs that do have a steeper learning curve, generally speaking. So if you don't already have a background in graphic design, it can be very challenging, and it feels very overwhelming to kind of dive in there and start creating your own content. With Canva, a lot of those barriers to entry are severely lowered, if not eliminated. Canva can be accessed through your desktop and through a mobile app, which is wonderful if you are sort of doing your graphic design on the fly, or if you really like to keep your social media managed exclusively through your phone. Canva works very well that way. It also works very well as a desktop application. And it can be used for anything. So we are going to be concentrating today on Canva in social media content creation, but it really can apply to a variety of different things. You can use it to create schedules. You can create calendars, both functional and promotional. You can create entire slide decks. I've seen slideshows presented exclusively through Canva. Promotional materials like flyers, posters, rack cards. You can create entire logos. There really is quite the menu that is available to you. And the great thing about Canva, I can't stress this enough, is it is free. So it is a freemium model, which means that you can access the program for free, and you can get access to quite a bit for no cost. And then from there, you can choose to subscribe, and it's sort of a standard subscription fee, like anywhere from around $10 to $14 a month. I think that's generally the price point. And then it kind of scales up depending on the size of your team and what you need the program to do. But the great thing is that you can do a lot for very little, namely nothing, which is wonderful. All right. The benefits of Canva. It really is designed to take the intimidation factor out of graphic design. It's designed to make everybody their own graphic designer. It's very cost effective, especially if the free version is suitable for your needs. Now, to put that into perspective, I have been using Canva for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, maybe only about a year or so. I have never upgraded my subscription. I only use the free one. And one of my other side hustles is that I am a social media manager. So if I can get by managing clients for nothing, that's pretty good to me. All right. The features, so kind of the added bells and whistles of this program, it's very, very user-friendly. It will take you a little bit of time to get used to it, especially I created a demo video, which I'm going to play in a few minutes for you guys. And you'll see that, in some cases, you have to get used to kind of clicking on content versus dragging content into your posts and stuff. Like there are little isms that you do need to get used to, but for the most part, it's very much kind of 1 + 1 = 2 technology. It's very, very easy to get to learn. It auto saves your designs, which is fantastic. So you can have that stored archive essentially of everything that you've created. And if you find a template that you like, or a particular kind of aesthetic that you're really into, you don't need to worry about making sure that that is manually saved anywhere. It's always going to be in your Canva dashboard. And it has a very decent built-in media bank. So what does that mean? It means that within the program itself, you can source stock imagery, stock video, different fonts, different post templates, little stickers and doodads and add-ons that you can put in. Those are all free and readily available. Now, the media bank is, again, a little more limited if you are exclusively working with the free version, but there are definitely workarounds to that as well. But the whole idea of Canva is, hey, we know that you've got a great idea. We know that you have a story to tell. We're going to make this as easy for you to do as possible. Yeah.
Sweet. And yeah, just piggybacking off of our previous webinars, in case anyone missed them, that was a big focus of making it as easy as possible to create your content and to get it posted across your different social media channels and lined up. And so, yeah, that's why I think this is an amazing tool, because it continues that theme of keeping it easy, really simple, and great design.
Yeah, and I think further to that, I also can't stress enough. You're getting good quality for your efforts and everything. It's not kind of one of those do-it-yourself programs where at the end you look at the content you've created and you go, wow, I can tell that I did that, or I can tell that I didn't pay anything to have that created. It really does have a high quality to it, and the production value essentially is excellent for what it is, really. Okay, so video time. So one thing that I do want to preface this video with is, at a couple points, there are weird little jumps in the audio. Essentially, the only thing that I can boil it down to is that while I was recording, essentially the video was faster than the audio, and the mic kind of cuts out or like skips a beat or whatnot. So it only happens a couple of times. I edited most of it out, but there are like 2 or 3 occasions where I'm kind of in the middle of saying something and then just kind of arbitrarily jump to the very end of that sentence or something like that. But I have checked it, like I have reviewed it and everything. The logic is sound, and the point that I'm trying to make is very evident. So yeah, if there are kind of a couple weird bits where you're like, that seemed like an odd way to finish that sentence, that's because it was. Hey, so this is the home page of Canva. So after you create your Canva account, this is where you will be brought every time. Now I'm going to walk you through how this platform works. Bear in mind, I am using the free version of Canva. Over here is your dashboard. So here is all your designs. As I mentioned, Canva auto saves everything that you create. So you can always find your designs in there. Recent designs is obviously what you've been recently working on. Shared with you ties into invite members and what's going on down here. So this account that I'm using is actually for Be Visible Web Design. I am the social media manager for that company. And essentially what all of this means is that I can invite other team members within my organization to share this account and add their own content to it. And that's where shared with you comes into play. So essentially another team member can create something and let me know that it's hanging out in here. I can do the same. I can create something and send it off to somebody else. The brand kit is where you can store your logos, your colors, any templates that are sort of your go-tos, anything that you need easy access to. And then all your folders is great, because if you are using Canva as kind of your one-stop graphic design shop, then you can subdivide everything that you're creating. So you can have all your social posts stored in one folder, your promotional materials like your flyers in another, and I don't know, lesson plans and schedules somewhere else. So here's social media. Now, what's important about this is that when you choose a certain thing, so if you wanted to create an Instagram story, the whole point is that Canva will auto size everything. So what you are creating is to scale, all the dimensions are correct, so it's going to display correctly on your social media channels. This is important because one thing that we advise against is the idea of one post fits all. That's really not best practice. You should be formatting all of your social media posts properly for the platform to which they are being posted. Sometimes if you do create kind of something that is an Instagram post and you choose to repurpose it for Facebook and LinkedIn and I don't know, any other channel, sometimes it actually won't upload at all because it's just not properly formatted. So this is a great way to ensure that everything's going to be right. You're not going to have any issues with anything showing up and not looking the way that it's supposed to. You can create things like postcards and cards and invitations, even t-shirts. Woo! Over here, so for your business, there really is a lot that you can do. You can effectively create your own website right here on this platform, at least the design components of it. So it really is quite interesting. And then here, all the marketing materials that are available, educational materials. So if you need to create lesson plans and schedules and all that, you can do that in here. And then trending is kind of where it's showing you the current flavors of the month. So this is the column that will be most regularly updated and will look a little different all the time. Features, so these are where you can access the photo banks that are available and the media banks, all of that. Learn, so there is a pretty great educational component to this platform. So even if you maybe aren't ready to start using Canva to generate your content, I definitely encourage you to check this out, create an account and learn some things. You can basically give yourself kind of a free crash course in graphic design basics, which is quite cool. And then, of course, everyone's favorite, pricing. So this is where we are. If you are using Canva, you will constantly be prompted to upgrade to Pro. I mean, you can't blame them. They're running a business. Of course, they want people to upgrade their subscription model. But anyway, this is where you can find all the information on the different pricing levels that are available. And here's where you can choose what it is that you'd like to create. And as you can see, there are just so many options that are available here. You can also start with an image. So if you already have the photo that you want, then you can start there. And you can also create custom dimensions if it doesn't really fit, if none of these options really fits what you're looking for. All right, now I have already pulled up a new design. So I decided to go for an Instagram post. Here is what it looks like when you have finally selected the kind of post that you would like to create. I have put it onto uploads here. So what this means is if you already have the content that you want to include, then you just upload media through here, and it's just like you would upload a file anywhere else. So upload media, your files will come up, you select what you want, and you dump it in here. Look at Ben and Banksy. Let's start there. I'll show you the rest of everything, but when we create our sample post, we will definitely use that photo because why wouldn't we? Over here, we have templates. So if you are not a graphic designer, if you don't even know where or how to begin, then this is a great place to start because it shows you all sorts of templates that have been created as examples that other users have created that they've allowed to be shared. It's a great resource bank and it can get you going here. Let's choose one of these for the sake of being able to show you how this works. Let's go with this one. So here we are, we have chosen our template. We've decided that, hey, this is going to be the base that we start with here. But say, we have our own color scheme. We want to use something else. We're not quite down with this kind of pink sort of situation that we've got going on here. Well, we can change pretty much anything in here and customize it. So what I did was I clicked on the base here and it highlighted the outer square and it showed me that I'm in the right spot because this is the current color that it is. So maybe I was blue. Ooh. And then maybe I don't like this one. I want to change this particular one to something else. So as you can see, we know that we have the right spot highlighted because it comes up in this little box. And maybe we just want to rock kind of this aqua color, and we just want that. And then finally, this one here, we know we have the right one again because it's come up in the little indicator box there. And I don't know, maybe we want to keep with the blue theme, so we'll just go a shade darker there. All right, I'm happy with that. So see, we've taken a template that is readily available here, but now we've done what we want with it, right? We've changed it up a little bit to put our own spin on it. One of the things that I always worry about as a content creator is if I am pulling one of these templates, I certainly don't want to find myself going like, oh no, there's the exact same post on somebody else's feed, and clearly we each just borrowed the same Canva template, right? So I'd always advise that even if you are taking advantage of this great feature, the template feature that they have, figure out your own way to use it. Change something about it. You don't want to see a carbon copy on somebody else's feed. I see that actually. I know that there's one template in particular that I see all the time. People keep using it over and over and over again. And that's fine. It's a great template. Like if you found something that you like, then there's no harm in using it, but you gotta making it your own in some way or another. If we swing on over to photos here, this is what comes up. So this is the photo bank, the media bank that I was mentioning. Now I went ahead, when the camera was off, I just searched snow and just wanted to show you what is available. Now you can search for anything you want. I just went with snow because why not? Now, you will see this is where Canva really starts to push hard for upgrading, because if I wanted to use this particular photo, if this was the one I really liked, I can't. I have to upgrade to the Pro subscription. So you will see that throughout, and unfortunately it always seems to happen that any of the photos you want are the ones that you can't have, and you know, that's kind of how that goes. So you might want to source content from elsewhere, from other stock photo sites, or better yet, just use your own media, just upload your own, right? The elements section here, so this is where you can find, you know, kind of little add-ons and doodads that you can add to your post. I'll be honest, I don't really use this feature very much. Like I've used a couple of speech bubbles and these sorts of things, as you can see. But this just doesn't really fit my personal aesthetic taste when it comes to you know, creating content and everything, but you can absolutely find whatever you want. Like this little squiggle here that we've got going on, and then these big blobs in this post, those would have come from this particular category. So definitely worth checking out. Text is pretty self-explanatory. This is where you can add all of the writing, the copy that you want to your posts. What's nice is you can choose different things. So if you have a lot of text that you need to incorporate, you can start with your heading, then your subheading, then your body text. You can also take advantage of some of these. So this is similar to the template feature. This is kind of it shows you suitable font combinations and kind of gives you like a text template from which you can pull. And again, you can change any element of this that you want. So if you liked the look of this pizza party thing, you could replace your own text, and maybe you don't want it to be in the red, so you can change the color component to green or whatever it is that you want. So pretty sophisticated that way. You really can choose whatever you want. Music, you can add music if you are doing more of a video thing. Obviously that doesn't really apply to a static post. Same with video, you can add some stock video in there, or you can add video to your uploads area here. So those are options that you have. You also have options to change the backgrounds of your posts. So if I decided that, hey, you know what, I kind of like these design elements, like I like the squiggle and I like the blue blobs and everything, but I just don't like the background itself, then I can click on here and change it to this wood example. There it goes. Now it's all loaded and everything. And maybe I do this and I immediately regret this decision. Well, if you make any errors or if you do anything that you don't like and that you want to change, you simply just go up here and you just click the undo button there. And look, oopsie is fixed. Nobody needs to panic. Now, word of advice. If you are really keen on, you know, creating a unique post for yourself and everything, then I do not recommend starting with the template option like we did at the very beginning and choosing this go-to thing, because it's kind of complicated when you start going in and changing too many elements with it. Like, for example, when I chose to change the background here, as you can see, it did exactly what I asked Canva to do. It did change the overall background of the post, but now I have to go in and tweak all the other little design elements, right? Because personally, I don't feel like these blobs and this squiggle suits this background at all. So what I'm getting at is, if it's best for you to just start from scratch, and maybe you've gleaned all the inspiration that you need from the templates and everything, but you know that you want to go in and create your own signature look, then just start here. Like, start with finding the background that you want first and then layer on accordingly, versus kind of doing the opposite of choosing a template and then having to, just swap things in and out constantly. You're just going to find yourself getting a little more frustrated than anything else. So absolutely start with the templates if you really are just starting at ground zero and don't know where to begin, and you just need some help to get you going. But once you are more familiar with the platform, I definitely recommend building your posts from the ground up. It's going to save you a lot of time and effort in the long run. All right, so I'm going to put that back, and now let's go in and finish off our post. Now that we've kind of negotiated this little area in here, we're going to go back to uploads, and we are going to import the content that we actually want. And if you notice, if I just click on the photo, it's just going to add that content to that post. It's not going to intuitively know that you want to replace content on the post. So I'm going to hit undo up here. And instead, in order to replace this photo and make sure that it sits properly in this frame, I'm going to take my new content and drag it over into here. And now we have our photo replaced, and we can start working from here. Now, this photo isn't really displaying correctly, right? So I'm going to click on it, and now this is coming up. See, we can filter, adjust, crop, and flip. So I'm going to click on crop, and I'm going to simply pull this photo down so that it's sitting properly in the frame. How do I know that it's sitting properly in the frame? Here are my crop marks right along here. So I know that everything outside of these crop marks are not going to show up. There. I'm happy with that. I'm going to click done. Fantastic. Now I want to change the look of this, because I know that I can make Ben and Banksy look even better than they already do. So I'm going to pull up my filters here, and you can play around with whatever you like. You can get lost in filtering your photos for hours at a time. My personal aesthetic, I love nice, bright, saturated colors. So let's happen if we put Dare on there. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. That's a little hot for me. So we're gonna just take the intensity down a little bit there. Yeah, I'm happy with that one. So we're gonna leave that there. And now if you come over to adjust, so this is where you can get into kind of like really tweaking with your photos and stuff. Again, personally, I don't really play around with this too much. Like it just kind of I get more overwhelmed than anything when I get in here. But like, for example, if I wanted to put a vignette on there, now that has altered that photo a little bit. So yeah, sure, I like that. That kind of somehow adds to the old school Polaroid theme a little bit. Flip, if I have a photo and it's just not quite filling the frame the right way, I can flip it. That's much better. All right, I'll flip that back. But you can do the same thing. You can flip it horizontally as well. If you want them looking that way. That just seems so weird. It looks so unnatural. You can tell that that it's been flipped, in my opinion. But there you go. So that's kind of how all of that works. And now the last thing that I want to do is I want to change the copy on here, because obviously this is just the sample text that I was given. I like the font, I'm going to stick with it, but I want to change the message. So we're going to click on the text here, and the cursor comes up, so you know that it's all good to go. And we're going to change it to DSS forever, Digital Service Squad forever. Yes. Now, in looking at this, I don't really like the font anymore. I don't like how this message is displaying in this particular way. So if I want to change the font, I just highlight and I come up here. This is where all of the fonts are. And you'll notice that this comes up just like any other program, just like Google Docs or Microsoft Word even. It's the exact same thing. This is your text bank. Like with all the photos, all these fonts with the stars beside them indicate that they are reserved for pro accounts only. The screen just isn't loading. It's just because I'm recording a video while showing you this, and that's a lot for my poor computer to do at the same time. And I just stopped the recording only because it was just taking forever to load and everything. But anyway, in the break, I changed the font. Now, honestly, for the purposes of this demo, the only reason why I chose this font is because it's called Glacial Indifference, and that just kind of made me laugh. So that's why we chose it. But yeah, that's what that looks like, and you can find pretty much any kind of font that you want. I also changed the size, so it was set to 110, and I just changed that to 80. If I wanted to, I could bold it or italicize it or change the color, but I don't want to do that. I think it's fine as is. And yeah, basically like any other word processor, you get all the same features as that. So here we go. This is the post that we have created. This is what I'm happy with. I'm like, yep, this is the one for sure. So now all I have to do is download. And I'm sure this is going to go horribly while I'm trying to record, because again, it's just a lot of processing power. But suffice it to say, this window comes up. If you want to, you can change how the download is, or the format of the download. It's always great if it is a social post to stick with PNG. That's just the best in terms of image quality and everything, but you can change it to whatever you need to, really. So now all I have to do is click download. Okay. So yes, that was the basic walkthrough of Canva as a whole in terms of what is available to you if you are simply working with the free version of it. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to flip over to the pro version of it. There I go again. and just sort of highlight some of the key differences so that you can determine what you are, what is best for you and your business. So with the paid plan upgrades, the most obvious benefits and the things that I find myself kind of missing because I don't have it yet, things like the background remover. So with the paid plans, once you import an image into that working canvas, you can choose to basically isolate that image. So if it's like a product, for example, that you're trying to feature, you can isolate that image and just hit background remover, and it will eliminate that. So then you are working with simply the image that you can then put anywhere you need to. So you can change the background and make it stand out more. You can create an artificial background. It's kind of like that's to me the thing that I wish I had the most when I'm working with Canva. Obviously, you're also entitled to more media, so the photos, videos, fonts, and elements are all available to you. You don't have to kind of pick from what's available, which is nice. But in saying that, I did mention that there's a workaround with that. So if you want access to more photos and more media and everything, but you really don't need to upgrade your Canva plan, then working with something like Upsplash, for example, even searching like the commons, the collective commons or creative commons in YouTube and Google is a great way to go to unlock more images. There are other ways to do that. Pixel is another good one. Just look into other options that you have for collecting that stock imagery, if that's the look that you're going for, if that's what you need. Automatic post resizing. So this is really great, again, for that idea of wanting to avoid the one post fits all thing. So if you do upgrade your plan, then you can essentially create one post, and then there's an option to auto resize it. And so it will properly format your one post to anything that you need. So if you created it as a Facebook post, for example, like a feed post, it will auto resize it to an Instagram story, a Facebook story. Well, I mean, those are the same thing, that's fine. Or an Instagram feed post and whatnot. So that's another great feature. There is room for more accounts and activity. And that just makes me think of that movie. There's so much more room for activities, but anyway, so that's great if you do have a large team, or if you have multiple accounts that you manage, and you really need kind of a more robust storage system and everything, then that's obviously beneficial. And then there's access to the other really cool thing that Canva has launched, which is its content planner and scheduling tool contribution to this space. So prior to 2020, essentially, I think it's new as of this year, Canva was not a player in the scheduling game at all. They were not interested in that. Their whole thing was, we're going to help people create their content, and then you go to somebody else, or you worry about how you get that content on your accounts through other means. They have since changed their tune, and now they have launched their own version of their scheduling app. So essentially, you can create your posts, get them all done up the way that you want, and schedule them directly in Canva, which I think is a bold move and a smart move for them, right? They've already established themselves as kind of the kings of do-it-yourself content creators, and now they're inviting people in to stick with them and expand upon what they can do within that platform. So that's very, very exciting.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
That all sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because like I'm sort of new to the Canva world myself. I'm coming from the graphic design background, using Photoshop, Illustrator. The demo was amazing, and I actually want to get an account. And I think, like, yeah, the fact that they're moving into the scheduling playground is a huge deal, because I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm paying like $40 a month for Later just to schedule posts, and that doesn't even give me any design tools. Which, again, you know, like for myself, like coming from that Photoshop, Illustrator background, even though I'm well versed in those programs, I mean, that's just such a time-consuming effort that when you show that, you know, having everything there easily, like, you know, touch of a button, you can just make really quick changes, keep things within a certain style, look really easily. It just makes me want to get an account right now. And just to be clear too, so when you clicked the download, some of those options were grayed out. Those were the pro options, correct?
Yes, yeah. Anything that is not like throughout that demo video and everything, anything that is not coming up and clearly indicated means, oh, okay, that's an add-on there.
Right. And I got to say too, the background remover for anyone doing e-commerce that wants that really clean, nice, like white background really quickly, what an awesome tool that is. I've seen that demoed before too, and it's really cool and quick, you know, super simple. And we're going to be talking about product photography in an upcoming webinar too. So I might actually take some pointers from that and incorporate some Canva.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I will also say just about that, so specifically with reference to the new content planner and scheduling tool, it is great, and I'm really happy to see that they are moving into that space. I did read up on it, and the one thing that they haven't figured out yet is auto posting to Instagram. The way that Instagram works, they just have kind of an added layer of security around that, and basically it's because the whole premise of Instagram when it started up was the idea of capturing moments in the moment, right? Instant photograms or yeah, whatever. Yeah, photograms, I guess. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But that's the whole point. Like the Insta is what makes Instagram what it is. And so for that reason, they like across all scheduling tools, they make it a little bit harder. So you'll notice that if you're investing in any scheduling tool, sometimes Instagram kind of has its own little like asterisk beside it. And there's something like, you know, there's an extra verification step that needs to be in there. This tool is not compatible with Instagram yet. Basically, all I'm getting at is currently Canva's planner has not quite cracked that, but it is becoming more and more commonplace for these scheduling tools to just have that integration built into it already. So while it is not currently up and running, I would say that it's going to be there very soon. Like they're probably just waiting on the approval for that, essentially. But just something to be aware of. If you're like, all right, this is it, I'm investing right away. Like, take my money, Canva. If you are running your socials pretty much exclusively through Instagram in particular, might want to think twice about investing in that. Perhaps look to other tools if that's really what you need right now, here, today, in this moment.
That is a very good point, actually, because yes, that added step of verifying or going to your phone to then finalize that post can sometimes mean for me that it just doesn't get posted, unfortunately, and it gets missed. But I think it's awesome that they're headed down that path, and yeah, what an awesome tool. You've sold me.
Sweet. Yeah, I sold myself too. I was like, man, I really should upgrade my plan. What am I doing? But anyway, yeah.
So we have a question from another Karen on our call, not our panelist, Karen. When making a new design in Canva, such as an Instagram post, how would I specify colors currently used on my website or logo?
So that would, I would say that that's where the brand kit comes into play. So within that feature, essentially you can save your logos in there, and you can also save your color codes in there and everything. I'm not speaking from personal experience. I haven't done this, so take this with a grain of salt. I just know that that is how the brand kit works. But in terms of like being able to talk you through with confidence, like the step-by-step to make that happen, I am not sure of the nitty-gritty details of that, but that is what that function is for. Another thing I can recommend is if your logo, or if something, literally anything that you have saved on your computer has your brand colors in it, upload it into that uploads bank, that media bank that I showed you. And if you just pull it over into your into the post that you're working on, even temporarily, you can color sample, like color match from that. So I didn't show that in the demo post, but if you click on, say you're trying to change the background of the post, for example, if you click on the background of the post and then you see that color wheel, like that thing that I showed you, that color guide come up, there's an option for that little like dripper thing, like the color match thing, and you can match that to any other element within your post. There's also a really sophisticated structure built into it where it will like Canva will intuitively pull the color scheme that you're working with, and it'll show you those colors. So if your post is all neutrals, for example, at the very top of that color bank, it's going to say something like featured posts or featured colors, or something within that, and likely you're going to see the exact color come up. But anyway, those are a couple of the options that you have.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the color selection tool is probably one of the best ways. And I love, that was one of my favorite things about just about the whole thing is that brand guidelines. Like if you've seen any of my webinars or videos about branding and advertising, you know, consistency is such an important part that I can't stress enough. And making that so easy for a company to just like store your logo, like, you know, because we see logos being used all over the place that are not the same. And keeping that consistent is so amazingly important. But then also your colors and storing those so you don't have to look up, or, you know, what is that hexadecimal number again and all that stuff. Wow, it's just such cool. I'm nerding out over the how awesome that is. And we don't have another question, but Tara says, thank you all for doing this. You're making it fun for Learn. You're welcome, Tara. It's been awesome. I'm having fun learning about Canva too, obviously. Are there any other questions? I'm sure there are lots. Karen, do you have anything to add from a design perspective on how this can help improve people's designs, their consistency? What are your thoughts there?
Well, as you said, Ben, oh my God, I think I've used it once, but no, I'm not familiar really with Canva, but it is an awesome tool from what I can see. I again love the point where we can put all of our colors and our logo into the branding kit, because again we have to keep everything consistent, which is the key to branding, from logos to colors, and so if you can do that. And now, oh, I have a question actually, and I don't know if you know the answer. What about fonts? Can you upload your fonts, like, because a lot of companies have specific fonts?
Yeah, great question. You can upload fonts. That is part of the Pro plan. So that is one of the add-on features.
Okay.
With that being said, provided that your font isn't, you know, like extraordinarily customized, like really like a one of a kind, never seen it before kind of thing, you should be able to find either the exact same one or at least a great lookalike within that free font bank that they have provided. Now, you know, again, it always seems to happen, at least for me. It's like, I must have expensive taste, because every time I'm trying to choose a photo or a font or anything like that, the ones that I like are always the ones that are those Pro plan upgrade ones. And again, I mean, that is the trade-off. If you're working with the free version, yeah, you're gonna have to sort of like settle for second best sometimes and everything. But yes, if your fonts are integral to your brand and everything, then that could be an opportunity to justify upgrading to the Pro plan, because then you can upload whatever you need.
That's awesome. Yeah, that sure would help. Yeah, again, it's a tool, a great tool. I love this background remover, because in Photoshop, it's a whole new ballgame. Well, I mean, it's getting easier and easier within the program to remove backgrounds, and it's always been not the most simplest thing. So I'd like to experiment with that to see how that goes. That would be great for product photography, as Ben said. Yeah, I think it's a simple way to communicate. It also gives you a really good idea. The looks are good as well, because I find a lot of times people, when they want to post something, they post too much. So these designs have been simplified to create aesthetically pleasing ads or posts or whatever, that there's not too much copy in this, it's not too busy. I think it's an excellent way to go.
Mhm. Definitely.
I'm just going to jump in here and say, unfortunately, we're not being sponsored by Canva, and I don't know why, because we're pushing it pretty hard, and I'm sure a bunch of people are going to jump on the bandwagon after this. One thing with if you're somebody who's like, oh, and the pricing, it's only $20, I think, like including tax, tip, HST, all of the extra add-ons that you have over here. It's $20 a month for the pro package, which is peanuts in the scheme of running a business. But for those out there that are thinking, well, that would be really handy for like the odd thing every now and then, if you're not going to be pulling the trigger on it, then the background remover is normally like the gateway option into like, well, I need to get pro because the background remover is so useful. There are free ones online that you can find on Google. I think like remover.bg or something, or remove.bg is one of the big ones, which is a lot quicker than doing it in Photoshop. It's not as precise, obviously, as doing it all manually. And I know I've seen Canva, it does fail every now and then, but it's so good. Like, yeah, as you guys are saying, product photography that we're covering next week, I think, that's definitely going to be coming up, removing backgrounds nicely.
Yeah, and actually, I think in Canva, you can tweak the result, right? When it comes back, that, you know, they've maybe missed some edges, or they've captured some shadows that you don't want. And you can go in there just like Photoshop and edit that to exactly, you know, where you want it, kind of paintbrush tool it out and finesse that that cutout, which is pretty sweet. I don't know if those other free ones do
You
that.
probably can't do that with most of the free ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do everything in Photoshop myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this was awesome. Are there any other questions from our attendees? If not, we will wrap it up there.
I think you guys covered everything. I didn't have anything to jump in on.
I know, right?
Good.
Well, yeah, so I hope you found this helpful. I certainly did. I think this was an awesome demo, an awesome walkthrough. Thank you, Rochelle, for putting that together. That was really awesome. So again, if anyone has any questions, need any help with, you know, Canva or just your digital marketing in general, please feel free to reach out to your digital service squad. We're here to help. It's free service for the next couple of months. We'll be around. And if you haven't, the digital transformation grant is still online. The application is still available, but the money's probably going quickly. So get on that. We can help you with that as well. So book your consultation, and we will see you soon. Next week, I think, yeah, is the product photography webinar. So we're looking forward to that. And we'll hope to see you there. Have a happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you very soon, and stay safe. And
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.